general evaluator of the meeting, I have a few important roles that I think are good for everyone. I'll look over the timely manner that we do the meeting, check to make sure that we treat our guests well. The roles were explained very well by James and Tim, who did our joke master for the day. Sorry, it's my first time. I'm a little rusty.
That's fine.
Okay. As far as the meeting goes, right now we're running a little behind, which is okay though. We've heard a lot of good stories today, a lot of good speeches. Should I introduce the ones?
You want to introduce
Okay.
each one at a time.
All right. The first evaluator for speech one, which was Aziz, was done by Sunil.
Yes.
Sunil, would you like to come to the front and give us your evaluation, please?
Sure. Thank you, Brandon.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, someone needs to time me since I'm the timer.
Oh. There you go. Anybody got it?
I have.
All right. Well, thank you, Brandon. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I am evaluating Aziz's speech today. And Aziz, right from the start, I want to tell you that I really liked your speech. And I liked how you started your speech off as well. Right from the start, you had captured the audience's attention. You started talking about who you are, where you come from. You started defining yourself. You started talking about your origins. And I think that that was a very important point that you made, because I think a person's origins say a lot about who that person is, where he comes from, why he thinks the way he thinks, what are the things that influenced him as he grew as an individual. So the fact that you, your parents are of Tanzanian origin, but you were born in England, and then you were brought here and you grew up here, shows that you had a lot of cultural influences in you, even though you may not have grown in Tanzania. Well, you had Tanzanian parents, so they had a lot to do with how you were raised and how you grew as well. So it's a really important point that you made. I liked the structure of your speech. It was chronological. It was very straightforward. You talked about where you started, and then how your life changed from the start to the end. I would also like to say that the way you spoke was very clear, confident. You were easy to understand. I could hear you all the way back there, so that's pretty good. I know, I realize it's a small room. And then I didn't see much hesitation, so it looked like you took the time to prepare for your speech. I didn't see you checking your notes or anything like that. You were talking at the top of your head, which is good. It definitely brings you off as being someone who knows what he's talking about. He doesn't see you hesitate much. Now that being said, I've spoken about all the great things you've done. It wouldn't be fair to you if I didn't give you some opportunities and things you could do better or focus on your next speech. One thing I did see you do often was this, right? So you did clap a lot. Some people might find that distracting. Interestingly, the last time I did my speech, I had similar feedback where I kept doing this all the time. Right? The whole speech I was doing this. In your case, it's this, right? So that's definitely one thing you can do. And one thing that will help you is if you don't know where to put your hands, the best thing you can do is just put it down to your side. Let's see. Look for opportunities to use vocal variety. Right? It'll help you continue to keep the audience's attention and captivate their attention. And it's just an interesting tip that is not really an opportunity for improvement. It would be nice if you could have also shared if you spoke other languages, because I don't know if you do. Thank you.
All right, our next evaluator for speech number 2 by Mr. Vince is Tim Trumbull. Come to the front, please.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, our very welcome guest, Vince. Straight out of the gate, you did one of my favorite things when it comes to icebreakers. You based it around a story that was a defining moment in your life. I personally believe that's the kind of icebreaker that can say more about an individual, about who they are, than virtually anything else you can do during this icebreaker speech. The icebreaker has three key purposes. First, to simply get that first one out of the way, to get it over with. Once you've done that, it gets easier from there. So that first one is really important. The second one is so we can learn who you are, to get to know you a little bit better. And there again, using that defining moment in your life, telling that story, we learned a great deal about you, far more than if you just simply stood up here and given us a laundry list of facts about yourself. If you read off your CV, you've given us a resume, you told us far more about yourself. Just for example, the way you reacted when that alarm went off, when the speakers came on and said, fire, fire, fire in the engine room. You immediately reacted, went back to that engine room, sealed the door. Now you credited that to just lots of drills, lots of training. But in fact, that really says that you are a person who deep down has a lot of courage. I don't care how many drills you went through. If you didn't have the courage to go back into that room knowing what you were going to face, then you wouldn't have gone, regardless of how many drills. So you told us that you're a person of courage, and you did that in a way that was in no way egotistical or self-serving. So you spoke volumes about yourself by using that particular technique. The third thing that an icebreaker is all about is learning your particular strengths and weaknesses, your natural strengths and weaknesses as a speaker. You actually have more strengths than you think. You have a wonderful conversational style to your voice. You didn't sound forced at all. You didn't sound artificial at all. You were very natural in your delivery. So you have some great strengths that are going to help you straight out of the gate. You're not afraid to have a conversation with people, which is what any speech really is. Some areas to improve on, just briefly, eye contact. You were looking around quite a bit. Also paced back and forth. And boy, am I guilty of that one. And just as Aziz did, there were some issues with your hands. You were doing this a lot. So those are things that will come with time, though, and lots of practice. You could have been a little better rehearsed. I think you were doing it a little more spontaneously than perhaps you should have. A little more rehearsal would have eliminated some of the ums and ahs that we heard in the speech. And you concluded it extremely well by linking your experience to how you got to where you are today, and also outlining your goals and the fact that you want to be an active part of the leadership program of Toastmasters as well. An outstanding icebreaker all the way around. Congratulations.
Great evaluation by Tim. I really like that one. Our third evaluator for Lady Tamika in her 10th speech is Ms. Laura Probose.
Evaluator, especially thank you, Lady Tamika. Congratulations, speech number 10.
Good.
Great job. Speech number 10 is a summary of all of the other speeches we've done. Each speech has a different purpose, objective. We worked on get to the point. We worked on vocal variety, hand gestures. So this speech summarizes all this, but also focuses on inspiring your audience. And I want to read a few of the particular objectives. Was the speaker forceful, confident, and positive? Yes. Did the speaker's words convey strong, vivid mental images? Did the speaker's use of body language enhance his or her message? I have to say, I think you really nailed that. This is your speech, because all of your speeches have really incorporated your love of inspiring other people. You did a great job. You were very natural, didn't seem nervous at all. You have a very warm personality. You seem to engage with everybody here. And most of all, you were smiling the entire time. I don't know if it was the book signing, your birthday, or getting your CC, but you just radiated joy. And we could all feel that, which was wonderful. The another thing I really wanna talk about, because I know you personally have been working on this, is structuring your speech. And you can tell that you really worked on that. And that's the great thing about Toastmasters, seeing people really work on a particular objective and nailing it. I always say there are two kinds of people that come to Toastmasters, people who are just natural speakers, who need to practice sort of reining it in and working on organization. And people like me who are scared to death of speaking and have to work on that, but maybe have the speech all written out. It shows that you have really practiced. It was great. I love starting with a song, and then you even said, this is what we're gonna talk about. Everybody has a purpose, this is how to live your purpose. There was one point when then you went off and you were talking about that you're positive and grateful, which was good. I think maybe that could have been tabled a little bit and just flown right into the example of the chair. And I think that was really a good visual to think about, that somebody put time into making the chairs, it's useful. What would make the speech even better? I think even more concrete examples. I think for each person, you could even make it personal, and what is your purpose, or what are you thinking? You could even bring it back to the chair. Then maybe the chair says, I'm just a chair. How do we relate that to us? And really looking at, well, what is our larger purpose? And I think that could have really, you could have even nailed more at the end with a particular call to action. So you need to find your purpose today, whatever it is. As you're getting ready in the morning, think about what your call is to. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations again.
All right, part of my job as well is to evaluate our general evaluators. But before I do that, I would like to ask for the timers report, please.
All right. So for our speeches, the 3 speeches that we had Lady Tamika at 9 minutes and 46 seconds. We had Aziz at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, and we had Vince at 5 minutes and 32 seconds. So everyone, go ahead and send me your votes on who you thought was your favorite speaker. And for our speech evaluators, we had myself at 3 minutes and 2 seconds. We had Laura at 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and we had Tim at 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
So qualified?
They all qualify, yes. All right, thank you.
They were sending that. Does everyone, make sure you send your evaluator votes in as well, please. Now I would like to see about our grammarians report.
Okay. I had Chenille at 12 ums. I had Brandon 5 ums.
Okay.
I had Pat at 7. Aziz over here. If I said that right, Aziz? Okay, Aziz.
I think our grammarian sets the record though.
I had you at only 2. Okay. And I thought that was very good. And for Vince, you were at 10. Lady Tamika, I didn't find anything in terms of filler words. Okay. I liked your idea, and what I've actually seen myself too, that thoughts are things, or thoughts become things. You're probably familiar with that. And I caught you saying this building. So, but beyond that, I enjoyed it thoroughly. So, Toastmaster.